Facebook promised to step up efforts to fight misinformation.
Tools we can use to combat misinformation.
The need to combat misinformation.
Combat misinformation. Combating misinformation.
Combating misinformation.
The Biden administration's full plate of combating disinformation abroad and here at home.
The media's obsession with stopping misinformation isn't about protecting you. It's about stomping out everyone who disagrees with their chosen narratives. In politics, we can't even get people to agree on what's true. So it follows that what qualifies as misinformation is equally a matter of opinion. That's a huge problem for our little misinformation warriors. The media's answer to this is to rely on experts who get to decide the truth, which is a horrible solution, because the media are the ones who get to pick which experts get to decide what the truth is. Here's what I mean. Remember when the feds were investigating Hunter Biden's laptop?
We do know that it's a very active Russian campaign. That's according to the U.S. intelligence community.
Well, we know that this whole smear on Joe Biden comes from the Kremlin. That's been clear for well over a year now.
I've seen a fair bit of the material on this laptop, and the response by the media, and particularly by the so-called intel community, strikes me as much more threatening to America than anything on this laptop.
Clearly, the origins of this whole smear are from the Kremlin, and the president is only too happy to have Kremlin help in trying to amplify it.
Adam Schiff is seriously the most pathological liar in all of American politics that I have seen in all of my time covering politics and journalism. He just fabricates and accusations at the drop of a hat, the way that other people change underwear. He's simply lying.
Well, former intelligence officials, who routinely appeared on MSNBC and CNN, wrote a letter claiming, without evidence, that the whole laptop story was actually Russian propaganda. The director of national intelligence, meanwhile, said that there was no evidence to support that, and the FBI agreed with him.
It is Adam Schiff, the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, who, as you pointed out on Friday, said that the intelligence community believes that Hunter Biden's laptop and the emails on it are part of some Russian disinformation campaign. Let me be clear. The intelligence community doesn't believe that because there's no intelligence that supports that. And we have shared no intelligence with Chairman Schiff or any other member of Congress that Hunter Biden's laptop is part of some Russian disinformation campaign.
So, which group do you think the media listened to?
The information found on the laptop may be part of a Russian disinformation campaign.
Part of a Russian disinformation effort.
Described by many intelligence experts as having hallmarks.
All the hallmarks, rather.
All the hallmarks of a Russian
disinformation.
Russian disinformation effort. Huh.
This is a great way to censor people that you don't agree with, or facts that are inconvenient for your favorite political candidate. Just find a bunch of experts who share your political views and act like their credentials mean that everything that they say is the indisputable truth. Now you don't even have to argue with the other side anymore. You can just slap a misinformation label on everything they say. What makes it a truly awful idea is that our understanding of the world is constantly changing. For the first 2 years of COVID, all of the talking heads on TV were telling us with exasperation that cloth masks were an effective way to control COVID-19.
Cloth masks, things like that, are the ones that they would recommend for citizens.
Even cloth masks can help protect the people wearing them.
Even cloth masks. Here's Director Redfield saying that masks at this point, more important, more protective than a vaccine.
This face mask is more guaranteed to protect me against COVID than when I take a COVID vaccine.
Masks, not vaccinations, are the single best defense that we have against COVID-19.
So to the doctors who tell you that these things save lives, ask them what did the two randomized clinical trials that we've done during the pandemic, what did they show? One found nothing, zero benefit. The other found a small benefit, like a tiny benefit that's a little bit methodologically shaky.
Cloth mask works.
Cloth mask works. Trust the science. That was what you might call the accepted truth. And if you'd shared an article disputing it on Facebook or Twitter, it would have been flagged with one of those disinformation tags. Media types would have scoffed at you and told you to trust the science and generally treated you like an ignorant rube.
You know, honestly, John, there are people out there that say the earth is flat. So who do you believe? The people that out there that say the earth is flat? Or do you believe the science and the evidence that we know the earth is round? So wear a mask.
Except, no, actually don't, because the science just changed, and now a bunch of health experts are telling us, hey, cloth masks are actually almost useless.
CNN medical analyst Dr. Lena Wen says a cloth mask just isn't enough.
I think that cloth masks for all people, including children, should be kind of a thing of the past.
At this point, is there any reason to wear a basic cloth mask like we all did in the early days of the pandemic?
No.
If you made the mistake of getting it right before the experts did, you were labeled a conspiracy theorist. You'd have been a danger to society for spreading misinformation. Maybe the media would have caught up to speed faster if they hadn't been so busy demonizing everyone who was saying a year ago what they're saying now. If these censorship-obsessed fake intellectuals were held to their own standards, they'd have lost their jobs for sowing uncertainty about vaccines.
The president was sort of asking as he was going around the room, well, how quickly can we get a vaccine out on the market? Can we do it in 3 or 4 months? And at one point, Dr. Tony Fauci, who told the president, no, it's still going to be about a year.
When I say quickly, we're looking to get it by the end of the year if we can. Maybe before. We're doing tremendously well.
Fact check the president. Jane, you spoke with several vaccine experts. How realistic is this goal?
You know, I talked with some of the best vaccine creators, and they said 12 to 18 months. I didn't hear anybody say by the end of the year was likely or probable, as the president said.
Back in 2020, they just couldn't handle Trump bragging about his administration's vaccine initiative. Public health be damned, the orange man was being rude, and they threw a temper tantrum.
Trump's vaccine can't be trusted.
Trump's vaccines can't be trusted.
How I think utterly dangerous it is to try to rush a vaccine to market.
New scrutiny over President Trump's vaccine promise and his push to get one approved before Election Day.
Misinformation is a meme. It's a political buzzword that's been reduced to meaning whatever I personally disagree with at this moment. Isn't it kind of dangerous to silence everyone who disagrees with the mainstream truth at the current moment? If somebody's saying something that's demonstrably not true, prove them wrong. Don't try to slap metaphorical duct tape over their mouth.
Holy shit, the Taliban just took over Afghanistan days after Biden pulled the troops. He working for the riches and the Clintons. I don't get it, what's the mission? He a bitch, so he won't never tell the truth. Nah, we ain't get the decision. Liberals had that shit rigged and they was switching the votes and hacking up in the Dominion. Need to take him out the White House and throw him in prison where he belongs, in a cold cell sit. Gotta call it how it is, dawg. This man is an idiot. He can't even form a sentence, dawg. This man is illiterate. We get fucked and stuck with Kamala, we get rid of it. What the hell of a predicament.